trying where you belong. Now it's gone. I've been fighting that fire for far too long. Now it's gone. You can climb much higher where you belong. Now it's gone.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 6 in season number 2 of the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series, presented by Krispy Kreme. We are here at the Michigan International Speedway, the only 2-mile racetrack of the season for the Corrigan Oil 200. A 20-lap race around this 2-mile racetrack, making it a 40-mile event here today. And let me tell you, those points in this series, they are extremely tight. 2 of the drivers in the top 5 in points, starting on the front row for today's event. Here's how they line up in the point standings. We have a tie for the points lead between Brad Stover and Annie Thomas, both 125 points towards the championship coming into today's event. Jonathan King, who was in the points lead for the past few races here in the series, is 3 points behind. Tyler Ryan has found his way to the 4th position in points, 4 points behind. And today's pole sitter, Micah Knapp, in the number 33, only 6 points behind. All those guys with a chance at taking the points lead at the end of the day. Anyways, we're ready to get this one started here at the Michigan International Speedway. 20 laps of action here for the Corrigan Oil 200. And I'm ready to get this one started myself, so let's go ahead, head trackside for the command to fire the engines here at Michigan.
Drivers, start your engines.
And a great command there to fire these guys up. And they will fire up and roll off all 33 drivers in the series. At our first road course race of the season, and the only road course race of the season last week, Nathan Stapleton broke a very long losing streak in that one. And we got a few guys, or one guy I should say, starting up front who would like to break a long losing streak. That's the 42 of Noah Cars. We'll get to him in a moment. It's Micah Knapp on the pole alongside Annie Thomas in the 30. Annie Thomas tied with Brad Stover for the points lead coming into today's event. He is going to start to the outside of our pole sitter Micah Knapp in the 33. Row number 2, Noah Cars, still looking for that first career win here on Napa Fam. His home state racetrack right here, Michigan International Speedway, alongside Lauren Martinez in row number 2. At the 69 of Luke Rainey alongside the 11 of Adam Lewis. Adam Lewis has had a struggling season. Finished last at Watkins Glen last week as he crashed. But he's looking to turn all that around here today. Eli Bright in the 71, alongside the number 15 of James Richardson. Really haven't talked about Eli Bright that much this season, but there he is. He drives that car, in case you didn't know that. 55, Philip Goldberg alongside the charity event winner of Chase Marks at the top 10. And Cameron Garlington, who's won here in Michigan before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, alongside the 02 of Igor Barreto, rounding up the top 12 starting positions here tonight at the Michigan International Speedway. It is a 20-lap race, one of the longer races of the season here in the ARCA Racing Series. But it's definitely going to be a good one. Micah Knapp, Annie Thomas, coming to the line. We are green flag racing in the Corrigan Oil 200. And right now, the advantage definitely going to the 33. He's single file for the lead as they're 3 wide behind him. That is Luke Rainey to the inside of Noah Cars and Lauren Martinez. And it's Micah Knapp off of turn 2 leading this field. Annie Thomas right behind him. And it was these two guys battling for the win at South Boston 3 weeks ago. Annie Thomas got the best of the 33, and it looks like she's going to get the best of him now. Exiting turn number 4 for the first lap of this race. The number 30, and the way they're currently running, the points leader, Annie Thomas, leads lap 1 here at Michigan. Noah Cars in the 42 on the inside of Micah Knapp. Both of those drivers going for their first career wins. And the 42 is going to dive to the inside of Thomas and take it away. But Thomas trying to run the outside lane here. She has some help from the number 33. She might be able to clear the 42 entering turn number 3. Doesn't appear that that will happen for Annie Thomas. And there goes the number 42, diving to the inside and taking the lead away fully from the number 30. Philip Goldberg, Cameron Garlington, Aiden Shepard. And Aiden Shepard's another one of those guys who has been on Napa Fan for quite some time and has never seen victory lane. Well, he's in the top 5 right now with a chance. There goes Garlington to the inside of Goldberg and Cars. And let me tell you, Cameron Garlington, for him being the most experienced driver in this series, really hasn't been the best of series for him. Really haven't seen much of this 46 running up front in a lot of these races, but here he is. The good run going for him right now. And we are seeing quite a bit of passing up front so far in this race, but sometimes the driver can stay out for quite some time here in Michigan. You see the 46 and the 37 pull away here from the rest of the field. But Aiden Shepard, he's going to try to get to the inside of the 46 and take the lead away. Got some 4 wide. Might want to watch for this. Micah Knapp in the middle of all this, our pulse hitter. Nathan Stapleton, our last winner, in the 28, moving his way up. And all those guys, they were 4 wide there for a moment, but they figured it out. And they're back down to 3 wide. It looks like Aiden Shepard will become the 4th different leader of this race. Annie Thomas, Noah Cars, Cameron Garlington, and now Aiden Shepard have led the first 4 laps of this race. A different lap leader for every lap so far here in the Corrigan Oil 200. And I kind of noticed a lot of these races that we do see a lot of passing up front. Of course, last week's race at Watkins Glen and the Toledo and South Boston races. As a matter of fact, the past 3 races of this series have not seen that much passing. But Pocono saw a lot of passing, and so did Daytona, at least compared to the next 3 races that occurred. This one has already had 4 different leaders, but Aiden Shepard will become the first 2-time lap leader of this race as he crosses the line and leads lap 5, a quarter of the way through. Here at Michigan, Lauren Martinez in the 77. Look at Aiden Shepard. He's got an issue. He went to the apron there. He went really low. And it looks like that 37 is going to exit the race. He is not disqualified or anything, but I believe that there is an internal issue on that 37. Not exactly sure what it could be. Do not see any smoke trailing the race car. But there's definitely something wrong with that Ford. And that is a very tough one for Aiden Shepard. Still going for that first career win. It looks like he's going to head to the pit road and possibly to the garage. Well, that's going to give the lead back to Cameron Garlington in the 46. They have spread out up front. And that is the advantage that Cameron Garlington and the 77 of Lauren Martinez will have. Of course, Martinez is going to try to get to the inside of the 46. But you see the gap between 2nd and 3rd right there. Jaden Scott in the 48. Right now in the 3rd position. Igor Barreto, Richard Kinghart, the number 6. That car is driven by Nick Smith. He's the defending champion of this series. And let me tell you, hasn't really had the best of seasons so far. Matter of fact, I don't even know if we've mentioned Nick Smith once in this series quite yet. Just recognizing this number 6 car, I really haven't seen it yet in my opinion. I don't think I've been talking about that 6 at all, but here he is in the top 10 right now. Same goes for that 71 of Eli Bright, another driver I really haven't seen much of this season. It's really interesting how that all happens. A lot of these guys have been stuck in the back of the field for a lot of these races so far this season. They're fighting their way up front here at this racetrack. Jaden Scott in the 48 will now take the lead away, but Garlington, he wants this thing. The number 46, I believe Cameron Garlington has 11. I mean, it's either 9 or 11, I think. I can't remember the exact number of wins he has. But he's going for either number 12 or number 10. Can't remember which one it is. But he's got a good chance of doing so here today. Running to the inside there of Jaden Scott. And he's going to take the lead back. Garlington has so far, I think, led the most laps in this race. This is going to be his 3rd one led. And with that, he surpasses Aiden Shepard in laps led in this race. How about Igor Barreto in the 02? He's another driver we really haven't seen much of this season, but he is going to dive to the inside of Garlington. and just steal that lead away. Going to be halfway next time by here at the Michigan International Speedway. And it's now Igor Barreto leading the field in the 0-2. Nick Smith, the defending champion of the series. And, of course, this is only the 6th of 14 races this season. We still have 8 races left. And I think it's 8 races left after this event. So, still a lot of time left for Nick Smith to move his way up in the points. And a good run here in Michigan will definitely help him. I mean, I keep on going back to what Trey Bartow did last fall in the Turkey Hill Series. He was well over 100 points behind the points leader in that series. I believe it was with 4 races, or for 4 races into the season, I should say, with 20 races left in the season. By race 14, 10 races later, he was the points leader. And that shows you that anything is possible. So if you're deep in the points right now, do not give up hope. You might find your way to the front before the season is over. It's happened before, and it might happen again. Igor Barreto holding strong as the leader right now. Cameron Garlington, Richard Kinghart. How about Josh Crash and Joe Jefferson? First time mentioning these drivers so far in this race, and one of the first times we've mentioned Josh Crash in this series. A lot of these guys who are deep in the points are moving their way up front right now in this one. And we could see a Josh Crash or a Richard Kinghart possibly get the victory here today. It's still Barreto in the 0-2, lap 12, going to the Chevy driver right there. Cameron Garlington still finds himself in the top 5. Right now, second behind the 0-2. He's going to try to get to the inside, but that's a tough thing to do. It's tough to make the pass when you start to make the pass through the corner. You got to do it before you enter the corner. And you're going to see Richard Kinghart here in the 52 attempt to take it away from Cameron Garlington. But he does not have any help there on that inside lane, and Garlington will remain in the second position. You see these guys single file. Look at how neat and orderly that looks. I like that. All drafting each other, all in one straight line. You're going to see Kinghart here dive to the inside of the 46, and Richard Kinghart is going to take second from the Season 3 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. Garlington will get the run on the outside and remain in the third position. Lauren Martinez will help the 32 of Joe Jefferson, but I do not believe the 32 will get the run to the inside. Nathan Stapleton going for 2 in a row here in the ARCA Racing Series. Got that win in Watkins Glen last week. And he is 6th in the points. I believe he's only 13 points behind our points leader of Annie Thomas and also Brad Stover. Annie Thomas is in the position to fully take the points lead at the end of the race right now. She runs in the 10th position. Brad Stover in the 27 is all the way back in 30th. So not exactly what the Toledo winner wants to see. They've been battling for second here. Richard Kinghart and Cameron Garlington have swapped positions the past few laps, and that has opened the door for Igor Barreto to pull out. It's 5 laps to go here at Michigan. I don't know if this 0-2 is going to be able to hold them all off. Here comes Kinghart. How about Joe Jefferson? He's going for his second win of the season. Same with Nathan Stapleton. Both of those drivers on the inside lane. And Stapleton has a chance of taking the points lead at the end of this race. If he can win and Annie Thomas fall back enough, which I don't know if that's going to happen because here she is running in 10th right now. But still Stapleton, he is going to move his way up in the points. He'll definitely be in the top 5 in the point standings if he finishes top 5 here today. Matthew Phillips to the inside of his teammate there of Josh Crash. And those teammates side by side right now. Garlington still in this thing in the 46. And for the lead, Richard Kinghart on Igor Barreto. And it's going to get tougher to make these passes as this race goes along. These tires wearing out here at the Michigan International Speedway. And how about Stapleton? Great draft on the 52. He is going to push Kinghart to the inside. And now Richard Kinghart has taken the lead away from the 0-2 in this race. Lap 17 of 20, led by the 52, Matthew Phillips and Nathan Stapleton on the inside lane. Phillips is going to take it 3 wide for the top spot. At 81, a bold move entering turn number 1. is going to put Kinghart 3 wide on the outside. Stapleton trying to get the run on the outside lane, but that 81 has all the advantages. He's got the nose advantage on the 28 and the inside lane. Cameron Garlington, Joe Jefferson, and Lauren Martinez. Garlington has been in this top 5 most of this race, especially in the top 10 most of this race. He's up to second. It's 2 laps to go for Matthew Phillips. Looks like they're going to go 3 wide through the corner again, possibly. No, Martinez had the opportunity to do so. And you know what? That was the end of the race. The caution has come out here in Michigan. And the race back to the line was won by Matthew Phillips in the 81. The race is over. And Matthew Phillips will go to victory lane here today at the Michigan International Speedway. How about that? Jaden Scott and Jonathan King involved in an accident here. Not sure if Aiden Shepard was involved. He's probably getting back out onto the racetrack. He's actually only a lap down, but there was definitely an issue on that machine right there. The 01 of Jonathan King done. Not sure if Tyler Ryan was involved or not, but he's deep in the field nonetheless. Brad Stover, not a good day for him, or pole sitter. Ended up falling back in this one, number 33. You see him there. Currently running in the, trying to find him here, 21st position. That's a tough break for Micah Knapp, who was only 6 points behind the points leader. With the exception of Thomas, all those guys in the top 5 in points had very poor days. How about Matthew Phillips, though? Out of nowhere, taking the lead away, and the caution happened to come out, giving this 81 the victory in the Corrigan Oil 200. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the caution to end this race 1 lap early here at the Michigan International Speedway. Lap 18 of this event, you see Tyler Ryan slightly move up into the 01, and Jaden Scott got into the 9. They just went up into the wall, and the 01 of Jonathan King went upside down. Tyler Ryan as well almost went on his lid, and you see the 01 riding the wall. You know, me and my dad, we used to play this game called Upside Down Cars, you know, and those little Matchbox cars. We used to run them together, and whoever ended up upside down, like, lost or something like that. You know, the way those cars were kind of smashed to the wall really reminded me of those little 1/64 Hot Wheels cars that I'd play with, and they kind of smash into the wall or whatever. I don't know. They smash into something, and they kind of be like that. I don't know. But those things flipping around like Hot Wheels cars. Very tough break for all those guys involved. That's just the unfortunate reality of this race. These guys all involved. And their day's ending prematurely here at Michigan. Gonna replay this one more time. And that's how violent that hit was for the 01 and the 9. Jaden Scott also torn up in the 48. I know for Jaden Scott, he was up front at one point in this race. He ended up falling back there. It's a tough break for all those guys involved. And this was the race back to the line. The number 81 of Matthew Phillips was able to hold off the 46 of Cameron Garlington. And Matthew Phillips, only unless something happens to him on these caution laps to end the race, he'll win here today at the Michigan International Speedway. Garlington is in the catbird seat in case something happens to the 81. But most likely Matthew Phillips will be the driver in victory lane here today in the Corrigan Oil 200. Let's go ahead and get the official finish here at Michigan. Back here at the Michigan International Speedway, coming to the checkered flag under caution, it will be Matthew Phillips in the 81 coming home with the victory. This might be Matthew Phillips' first career victory on Napa Fan. I'm not 100% sure. He might have won before. I have a really hard time keeping all that together. But I do know he got this win. Matthew Phillips, the winner here in Michigan in race 6 of the season in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. Cameron Garlington, Joe Jefferson, Nathan Stapleton, and Lauren Martinez, the top 5. And definitely a great run for Stapleton, backing up that victory he got at Watkins Glen. If I'm not mistaken, he's going to be second in the points after this race. Annie Thomas will fully take the points lead over from Brad Stover as she finished well ahead of him. And for Jonathan King, Tyler Ryan, and Micah Knapp, they were kind of deep in the field for today's event. And because of that, they're probably not going to contend with the number 30 for that points lead in this one. They definitely won't. It will be Annie Thomas in the points lead, and Nathan Stapleton will most likely be in the second position heading into Iowa, which is going to be next week. The week after that, we're taking a break because it's Halloween. We got the Great Pumpkin 500. That's coming up here on Napa Fan very shortly, if I'm not mistaken. The sign-ups are this Friday, I'm thinking. And the way we're going to be doing sign-ups is going to be a little bit different. I will explain it in a future video where I might have already explained it. But we're going to try this new little system out here and see how it works. Trying to get it to be as easy as possible for you guys to sign up. And hopefully this idea works. We're just going to have to find out on Friday, I guess. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Matthew Phillips, the winner here in Michigan. And that is it for me here today from the Michigan International Raceway in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. Next race at Iowa next week. Napa Truck Series from, Kentucky? No, wait, Texas, that's where it is, Texas. Getting ahead of myself here from the Texas Motor Speedway on Friday. Congratulations to Matthew Phillips, the winner here at the Michigan International Raceway. And here are the point standings for the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. I will see you guys later.
That means I've turned on myself. I can't deny it. It's like